Well, ladies and gentlemen, you did read that title right. You are not hallucinating, and the thumbnail is correct. Delta Force has skill-based matchmaking, MMR matchmaking, whatever you want to call it, and it needs to be removed immediately. And you will see why when I explain it further in this video, because the way it works is just, I mean, honestly, downright nonsensical. And what is so funny about this is on my first impressions video of Delta Force, the first impressions of the release at least, I said, well, I noticed my matches are getting progressively harder, but, you know, maybe it was just lobby variation. Sometimes in Battlefield games, you have good lobbies and bad lobbies and harder lobbies and easier lobbies. I just thought maybe there's just a bunch of gamers on because the game is just out, and obviously I don't really know the maps very well, so maybe I'm just playing like ass and other people are beaming me. That's what I thought, at least, until I saw this article from November 29th, 2024, which is an interview with one of the main people behind Delta Force, stating that, quote, Delta Force will have a well-built skill-based matchmaking system, and apparently skill-based matchmaking is essential for fun. So we certainly have a ton to unpack in this video, ladies and gentlemen. If you plan on following Delta Force, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I already put out a settings guide, and I plan on putting out many, many more instructional videos, such as how to build weapons, individual weapon builds, all that sort of thing. So hit the like button, sub to the channel, and come by the Twitch streams. I stream every single day, and recently I've been putting in like 8-hour streams. So what is the deal with skill-based matchmaking in Delta Force? First of all, I just want to state up front, this is not an opinion. This is fact, okay? I know some people are going to try to debate this in the comment section, try to say, oh, well, are you really sure it exists? I'm absolutely 100% positive because the developers of Delta Force confirmed that they have, quote, MMR matchmaking to me personally, and if you want to look at something that confirms it for everyone else, there's an article from Video Gamer interviewing one of the main Delta Force developers saying that Delta Force will have a well-built skill-based matchmaking system. So that is public confirmation of the system being in the game. Another very important detail is you will notice when playing Delta Force, you can select between ranked and unranked modes. Now, a lot of people see the ranked game mode and they assume, oh, well, that's ranked, you must be being put against better players. So, of course, skill-based matchmaking is going to be in that, but what they don't understand is skill-based matchmaking is also in the unranked mode, but what's even crazier, ladies and gentlemen, and sit down for this, ranked is useless. It does absolutely nothing because ranked and unranked players get queued into the same lobbies. And I have personally tested this and confirmed it with my viewers. My viewers Q-sniped me while I was queuing ranked, and they had ranked unchecked, and they got put in my games. So, as of right now, there is absolutely zero difference between unranked and ranked. The only difference that is, again, meaningless, is you can earn small rewards for having ranked checked. Other than that, it really just doesn't do anything, because skill-based matchmaking is present in every single game mode. This is a fundamental violation of the player base. Under no circumstances should skill-based matchmaking be anywhere near the unranked mode in the game. I have absolutely no problem with there being skill-based matchmaking in the ranked mode. Obviously, because if you're queuing ranked, you're assuming you're going to be placed against higher skill level individuals, and ranked counts for something. You want to rank up, you want to get better, all that sort of thing, right? But here's the problem with skill-based matchmaking being in Delta Force, and I just want to say this disclaimer before we get any further into the video. I bet some of you guys watching this video are going, oh, well, Enders just doesn't like skill-based matchmaking because he can't farm noobs as hard. Absolute and utter horse shit. Let me just say that right up front, okay? BS. Total garbage. Just a couple days ago, I posted myself playing in a tournament against basically like 5 retired COD professional world champions, okay? And I don't care that it was in Delta Force. The fact of the matter is, I don't have a problem playing against better players. I just don't. Played tournaments in many, many games, including Delta Force, Battlefield, Gundam Evolution, even in Counter-Strike back in the day. So I'm a competitive player, right? I'm fine with that. However, my issue with skill-based matchmaking is it causes a lot of problems, okay? And for me, there's some moral problems, there's some ideological problems with there being skill-based matchmaking in a casual shooter such as Delta Force or such as in Battlefield, for instance. First of all, like I said, it's completely incompatible with the idea of Battlefield. Battlefield is supposed to have a bunch of game variation. It's supposed to be a pure, uncurated experience where you load a bunch of random people into a server and you just play the game. This is essential, and I cannot stress this enough, essential to the way Battlefield plays. Once you put skill-based matchmaking in a Battlefield-style game like they did in Delta Force, you are relegated to the exact same game experience every single game. Every game will be the exact same forever for you. And that is how my experience has been for the past 2 days playing this game on stream. There are rarely any moments where you pop off. There are rarely any moments where you have any sort of difference in the way areas play on the map. Everything just sort of feels monotone, boring. There's no variation. There's nothing to really, get you interested. There's no, massive flank one game, and then another game, you get your ass kicked. And then another game, you roll them, and then you get rolled. That isn't a thing. It just always seems to be the same thing. And that's terrible. That is just by far one of the worst things ever about skill-based matchmaking. But no, let's go over all the reasons. So first of all, it basically ruins the fun for one group of players while it attempts to protect another, which I think is just fundamentally wrong. I think when you play a game, you should all just be put in the same server, and if you don't like the game, you can leave and then re-queue. Whatever happened with that solves everything right there. But some real tangible issues that you can observe while you play is, I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but I have been queued into multiple 120 and even 160 ping servers because of skill-based matchmaking. I'm not kidding. You can see it on stream. I queue the game. It says, can't find enough players in your skill bracket or whatever, or just can't find enough players, expanding search range. Then I get loaded in to a 160 ping match, and if I leave the match, I lose rank. What the fuck? Now, that isn't to say that I care about losing the rank. Like I said, ranked doesn't matter. But that's just wrong. This is a fundamentally wrong thing. I should not be getting put in a 160 ping game and then punished after I leave that game that I shouldn't have been put in because of your terrible matchmaking system. And touching again about how Delta Force implemented this system, it's just really disingenuous because why would you put something that says ranked in the game when the unranked mode is also ranked? It just confuses people. People don't understand it. People assume that if they unchecked ranked, then they're not going to be playing ranked. But they are. So before I go any further into this rant about skill-based matchmaking or MMR or whatever they call it in this game, here's an extremely simple solution, right? And I think this would just pretty much fix it. Remove the MMR/skill-based matchmaking system from the unranked version of the game. Plain and simple. That's all you have to do. Now, I'm going to explain some other things about what skill-based matchmaking does, and this is one of those things where you're not going to really understand it very well unless you have experienced it in the game, okay? Skill-based matchmaking has this effect where, let's say you're a player like myself, okay? I'll just use myself as an example. And please, people, don't take this the wrong way. I'm not trying to be egotistical. I'm not trying to be this way. But I play games at a fairly high level, right? As a default, right? I cannot try and be better than probably 95% of people. For players like myself, or even above average players, what SBMM does is it takes you as a pretty decent player overall, even when you're not trying, and it says, oh, you're a better player, so we're going to force you now to try your ass off every single time you play this game. You can no longer play this game and relax. You can no longer play this game and chill. You can no longer play this game with friends that may be lower skill level because we're going to make your friends play your SBMM bracket. Meanwhile, other players that are worse get protected in this tranquil Goldilocks zone, right? And they never have to worry about anything. They never get to play against better players. They never improve. And it's, in my opinion, it is fundamentally completely wrong to do that because now it is just a completely curated experience. It's not pure. There's an algorithm getting in the way of a pure game experience. It is just fundamentally wrong, and I disagree with everything about it in a casual game mode. If I want to play against better players, I'm going to queue ranked, bro. I'm going to play a competitive game with my teammates that I've won competitive tournaments with, okay? That's what I'm going to do. Nobody, and I repeat, nobody, regardless of how good they are at a video game, should be forced and relegated to a single experience where they just have to try their absolute hardest every single time they play the game just because they're decent. It's ridiculous. And like I said previously in this video, some people are going to comment, well, why should I have to play against enders if I can only play the game for 5 hours a week? Well, you don't. Because there's this giant escape key on your keyboard in the upper left-hand corner. You can hit that, then you can hit leave game, and then queue again. Solves the problem instantaneously. You don't have to play against me. You get a completely new experience with completely random players. So I will end this video by saying this. Delta Force, I really enjoy your game. However, I do think the implementation of this MMR matchmaking system or skill-based matchmaking is disingenuous and misleading. I do believe that you should completely remove the MMR matchmaking from the unranked version of the game, and you should clearly communicate if you're not going to remove the skill-based matchmaking from the game, that it is in both the ranked and the unranked mode. Not telling people that they are being loaded into the same lobbies when they're queuing ranked and unranked is, again, I believe it's misleading, and I think it confuses the player base. So the solution is clear if you want to take it. Remove skill-based matchmaking from the unranked casual version of the game, and perhaps change the ranked mode into something smaller player count-wise. Perhaps develop a 8v8 mode, perhaps develop a 5v5 mode. I'm not entirely sure how successful that would be, but something tells me that if you remove skill-based matchmaking from the casual mode, you're worried about the ranked mode's player count. That is a completely valid concern, but I do think there are solutions to it, and I do think, given your track record with listening to the community, that if you listen to the community on this, they would reward you greatly. So definitely let me know what you think about this topic in the comment section down below. If you enjoy the content, if you want to follow Delta Force, be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on this video, and come by the streams, ladies and gentlemen. You guys have been absolutely out of this world, life-changing levels of support on the streams. A couple days in a row now, I have averaged over 1,100 viewers on my Twitch channel, which is just, I mean, I can't even put it into words how incredible that is, starting from literally 0 viewers in Battlefield 1 all the way back in 2018. So thank you guys so much for that. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I will see you guys in the next video.